Hi, and thanks for tuning in for another board meeting recap from our board meeting on Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. We started off our meeting introducing our excellent student board member, McKenna Curtis from Elko High School. Just an incredible junior student who's having a great year and great high school career so far, and looking forward to seeing her leadership at Elko High next year. And she was a wonderful contributor to our board meeting. Our next item was the recognition of top ranking graduates of the class of 2026 from all of our ECSD high schools. Those students were as follows: from Carlin High School, Caitlin Blaine; from Elko High, Binta Berry; from Jackpot High School, Eunice Dominguez; from Owyhee High School, Taven Beck; from Spring Creek High School, Justine McDermott; from Wells High School, a tie with Tegan Colton and Grace Otto; and from West Wendover High School, Alan Childress. So congratulations to all those seniors for being the top ranking individuals from their class, and for all their hard work over the entire course of their high school career. Next, we received a presentation from the wonderful Spring Creek Elementary School 5th grade music program. They gave us a little bit of a sampling from a recent production of theirs called Patriots, Heroes of the War of Independence, which was a great collaboration between the music department over there and some social studies content that they've been learning. So it was wonderful. We heard a few songs, including the national anthem and others that taught a lot about that War of Independence. And so just great job by those kids, by those teachers, and everyone for their collaboration on a wonderful production. And we're grateful for the sampling they gave us at the meeting. The next presentation we got was from some older kids from Spring Creek and Spring Creek High School from their Silver Stage FFA, and they talked to us and taught us about their career development event qualification and preparations for the National FFA Convention. We were able to hear from three of their members: Ruby Bizzetti, Kayla Jones, and Leah Smith, who each kind of gave us a little bit of a short explanation and narrative of the different events that they participate in, and how they're looking forward to competing in those at nationals. And the Silver Sage FFA just always does such a great job, both at the state and national level, and congratulate them and wish them luck at their participation in nationals. And just one more, commendation for how well they presented. They were very impressive before our board, and they should be proud, and so should the parents and the staff of Spring Creek High who work with those students. We were also able to recognize our last star recipient of the year, Miss Dee Dee Dan from Owyhee High School. She's a science teacher out there, and we were pleased to have her in person. She made the drive, not for the recognition of herself, but for the recognition of the top-ranking senior from Owyhee. But while she was here, we also were able to recognize her, and it was wonderful to do that. She has been instrumental in excellent science education out there in Owyhee, as well as helping produce so many Elko County School District STEM Fair Grand Prize winners and other very high placers. So she's an amazing science teacher, and we're grateful for everything she does out there at Owyhee Combined School. Then moving into our agenda or discussion and action items in the agenda, we started by receiving a human resources update from our Director of Human Resources, Mr. Cody Krenka, the one and only Cody Krenka, and he shared a lot of different aspects of our human resources program, from the enterprise risk management program to our e-learning platform, but some things that maybe may have a little more interest to our staff and folks listening. One of those would be regarding our legislative funding allocations in the last two biennia from our legislators. Most of you are probably aware of SB 231, which later became a different bill, but that funding has continued, and the district continues to commit to implementing that and awarding that in the form of salary increases to all of our staff, as long as the legislature continues to fund that. But this last legislative session, there was also another one called AB 398. That one's a little more confusing, and they're still kind of sorting out how that's going to look. But the AB 398 funds will also result in some increase in salary for certain staff members. And as that gets worked out, those individuals who are eligible for that can expect to receive an email explaining why you're eligible and what that dollar amount will be. And if you do not get that email, it means you were not eligible. And if you're looking for kind of clarification on that, you can always contact our Human Resources Department. I would also recommend just starting with your local building rep and your union leadership, as they have been informed about um, basically everything we know about AB 398. And so we're grateful for any and all funds that the state is willing to put towards education in Nevada, and especially towards our wonderful educators. And so keep an eye out for that if you see an email of that nature. Also, regarding our personnel and our staffing trends, we were updated that 38 positions are currently posted. I had someone ask me recently, I thought we were in a hiring freeze, and the answer is we're not in a hiring freeze. During the initial kind of time frame of our budget conversations, we kind of froze hiring at that point. But we do have positions that need to be filled for next year, now that we have all the retirements and resignations and movement that occur every spring. So we currently have 38 positions posted, and the district has made 7 hires, and so we'll continue to try to hire for those positions that are essential at our campuses for next school year. And then just as an update as well, from staff realignment with the budget reductions, we were able to have 51 positions that were through attrition or through other methods that were essential in helping parts of our budget realignment, so that those 51 positions up to this point have generated nearly $4.2 million in savings for the district, which is which is good all around in lots of ways. Complicated in others as far as some class sizes go. So recognition that that's good news in some ways, but not so much in others. But overall, for the fiscal health of our district and for our ability to maintain people's employment, it's good news. So we're going to continue to seek other ways to address our budget as we move forward. But that was a step in the right direction, and right around the area we wanted to be when we were looking at staffing changes based on student enrollment. So, and again, just as a reminder that is always what staffing is tied to, is tied to student enrollment. The next items, the first one was the acceptance of a bid for the Wells High School gym re-roof project. So that was accepted, and that'll get worked on during the summer, and the Wells gym will have a new roof going into next school year. We also sought permission to go out to bid for the asphalt maintenance at the Spring Creek High School, Spring Creek Middle, and Sage complex. So that was approved to go out to bid, and we'll do that and get that work done during the summer as well. We also approved a new bus stop in Spring Creek for it's the Sunset Estates. But that was a topic at a previous meeting, which was postponed until now, and that due to some potential concerns, but that was approved, and we're moving forward with that. We also approved a donation of 2 out-of-service school buses that we were using for parts and other things, so we're going to donate those to Carson City School District. Carson City School District has helped us out in other ways from transportation, so we're returning the favor by helping them out. And then we had some policy reviews and revisions. These were all, 3 of them were related to the rental of facilities to entities outside of our school district. So as part of our budget saving measures, one of the topics that came up was how much we charge outside entities to utilize our buildings. And we had some kind of rough policies around it, but not some formal structures as much as we'd like to. And so at this point, this was kind of one of the more lingering or remaining items that needed to be addressed as far as our budget actions were concerned. So thanks to Cassie Stalkey, who helped work on these different budget revisions, policy revisions. So one of them is titled rentals, another one's titled buildings and grounds management, leasing and renting, and then the other is the leasing and renting of non-school use of school facilities. So some conversation from the board around all that, and those policies will actually be combined into one instead of having 3 separate ones, along with some other edits and suggestions that were given by the board. Good conversation. And then somewhere along the way after those policies come back, we'll also have a formalized fee structure to accompany it. So that'll move forward. And then there was one other policy that was revised, and that's policy DHE, which is the use of credit cards, which is only relevant to people with district issued credit cards. But it's about timelines of when those forms need to be submitted. And so, again, that was for first read, and we'll be back at a future meeting. The last item under the discussion and action items was the approval of our final budget for FY 26-27. A lot of conversation has gone into the budget since about November, December, when we started to have to make some mid-year changes and start to make adjustments for next year as well. And so a lot of those efforts have paid off in putting ourselves in a much better situation for next year than we were in just 5 months ago. Sometimes it feels a lot longer ago than 5 months, but very necessary actions and changes that happened. We, definitely still some more work to go, but we are on a good trajectory to get ourselves on the right path toward, balancing our budget properly and being in a good fiscal position. I do not anticipate that everything is all better and that it's going to magically fix itself. That's not how things work. It's going to fix itself by us working together and making the necessary adjustments as time goes on. So we are at that point in this year where the final budget needs to be approved by the end of May, and so that was approved. But we will continue to have conversations around this as we go into the fall, when the audit takes place and when budget augment takes place. And so we'll keep doing our due diligence and making sure that we try to make all those needed adjustments, while also making sure to provide our students and staff with everything they need for comprehensive instruction program in our schools. So, and then after that, superintendent's report. I shared some thoughts on the excellent job that our staff and emergency responders provided during our two recent threat calls to Spring Creek Middle School and to Adobe Middle School. I don't want to dwell on those too much, but that's where I'd like to just make that comment, as I'm really grateful for everyone who followed the plans just as they should be followed, and who maintained their composure and professionalism during a very what can be a very high stress situation. So you all, the staff, and the emergency responders did such a great job. We appreciate you and your partnership and how you care for our students and for one another. And then talked about some other things related to just end of year. Congratulations to all of our, again, not only our top ranking graduates, but all of our students who've worked hard all year, all of our teachers who've worked hard all year, to our athletic programs who had so much success recently. We're going to be able to recognize them at an upcoming board meeting, and that's exciting. And then another point to share is during our board matters, during the NASB update, they discussed some award nominations for the Nevada Association of School Boards Conference. And so we're very interested in trying to highlight as many Elko County School District employees, administrators, teachers, board members, local partners, community, friends, and those who support education. And so that'll come up again in another meeting too, as we think about how we can do our best to acknowledge and recognize all those who care so much about K-12 education in our communities, because they make a difference every day. And that's it. So thank you so much for listening and for being involved and informed, and I look forward to sharing with you after the next one. Have a great day.